Okay, failed a couple of tests. Oh, that's a bit loud. Let's turn that down a little bit. Wait a second, guys. First gaff. Immediately. God, second stream with the new audio setup and like I screwed up immediately. What a surprise. I forgot the forgot to turn the faders up. I was like, it's the main thing, it's the main new thing I want to do. And yet I completely forgot to do it. Welcome to the stream, guys. As you can tell, things are now a little bit different here. I got a new audio setup. For those who didn't catch the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase stream that we did on Thursday. So I finally stopped using my Focusrite because I was having a lot of audio monitoring issues with it. That I've realized since getting rid of it, I think it may have been a cable issue. Just the entire time, and I hadn't realized it. But anyway, the positive note is I have replaced it with something a little bit cooler and better. So I have a Rodecaster Duo, which is amazing, and I'm still trying to figuring out like the situation with it a little bit, and how to and utilizing it and making the most out of it. But basically, it's basically now we can do a lot more with the audio with which is really cool. I'm still figuring out how to make it all go out of different channels or whatever on the stream, but that's the thing I'm gonna like try and figure out as time goes on. But it'll mean the streams will be a lot better quality, hopefully, like in terms of audio wise. I mean, I can already like hear the difference a little bit, in I think a good way. At least I hope in a good way. But if there's anything that anyone thinks that like needs to get adjusted sound wise, or if there's any like filters or processing that needs to be done, that's something that's obviously we're working on that, and it's gonna change and develop as it goes along. So it's exciting. It's really cool. It also means we have a soundboard, as you heard the applause. So we've got some like sound effects that I'll probably use sparingly. I mean, there's kind of lame, to be honest, but I kind of like using them. I want to say I'm like using them ironically, but I'm kind of not really. And I don't really want to spoil what they are because I want them to be a surprise, apart from the applause one that we've just had. But I am looking at finding some more so we can utilize those how and when we need them. But yeah, so like I said, it's a new kind of little bit frontier for the stream. But what hasn't changed is what we're playing. We are still playing Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. We are currently on Justice for All. We are on the final case of the game, and we're about to go to trial. In order to clear the name of the guy we are defending, whose name I have forgotten because I have not got my notes in front of me. Bear me a second. We are very professional here. This is all... So, what's happened so far? Juan Corrida is dead. He is a movie star. And currently the chief suspect in the case is Matt Ongard, who is the who we are currently defending, because we believe he has been framed. I mean, we know he's been framed. It's a Phoenix. We're taking the Phoenix Wright case. Everyone who we defend is always innocent. That's the whole point. There's also a lot of going on with Lotta Hart, who's currently investigating this from a journalistic standpoint. The security lady Oldbag has seen something that we're still... No, wait. I made notes about this. I should have this all sorted. Hold on, I'm going to get out a summary of the end. And we also have... So Juan Corrida is dead. Chief suspect is Matt Ongard, who we are currently defending. There was a bit of a conspiracy because Andrews, who is Ongard's agent, was seen with Corrida. So there's a strange link between her and him. Her mentor had previously been Corrida's manager, and after she had died, Andrews had tried to kill herself. And she's still trying to figure that. She doesn't believe it was suicide. So so Andrews is trying to figure out what happened there. So there's a whole lot going on. Anyway, and also Maya's been kidnapped. That's probably a bigger thing that's happened. So Maya's been kidnapped. However, she has broken out. But she was given, before she did, someone that slid under the door a seashell card, which is similar to what Andrews had been holding in her hand. So obviously there's a link there. Why is that gone to that? Sorry, got to fix something. Perfect. Possibly. Cool. Right, so let's start the trial of the century. At least for now. Farewell, my turnabout. Part 2-1. Have I forgotten everyone's voices? Yes, I have. Adrian did it? That's what it looks like. Dude, no way. That woman couldn't do anything like that. In court today, there will be a mountain of evidence that will implicate you. A mountain of evidence? I'm certain there is someone out there trying very hard to pin this whole thing on you. Please, Mr. Lawyer. Dude, like I said yesterday, I'm refreshing like a spring breeze, alright? I can't let any sort of scandal ruin that. Too late. I understand. Well, it's almost time. Mia. We must get a complete acquittal today. I know. I can't focus on Maya's situation right now. Or Pearl's either. No matter what, I have to focus on winning this case by the end of the day. Indeed. Well, let's get going. It's him. Oh, we got the transceiver. And it's the killer. who has been communicating with us because he wants the acquittal. As part of his terms, or else he won't release Maya. This is right. Good morning. This is it, Mr. Attorney. The day of the trial. Maya, she's unharmed, right? Well, when I checked on her earlier this morning, she seemed a bit, how should we say, tired? Don't worry, people don't die that easily. Besides, what you really should be concentrating on is winning today's trial. For my sake, as well as yours, you must win today's trial. Which is why I sent you a little present this morning. Present? What in the world would you want to give me? You'll figure it out once the trial starts. And even if you don't like my gift, I expect you to graciously accept it and win the day's contest. If you please. Wait! Kidnapper sent me a present. Mr. Lawyer Dude? Who was that? No one. It has nothing to do with you, so I forget you heard anything. Dude, did your nose just get longer? Court is now in session for the trial of Matt on guard. Are the prosecutors and defense ready? The defense is ready, Your Honor. Wait, what? Where's Francisca? I say, Mr. Wright, what happened to Miss Von Karma? I don't know, Your Honor. Why are you getting mad at me? Your Honor. Please be quiet, bailiff. Court is in session. I'm gonna have to turn that down a little bit. That was, If you must tell me something, please keep it brief. Now then, what is it? Prosecutor Von Karma has... This morning, Miss Von Karma was shot by an unknown gunman. What the hell? What? Shot? In this America? Somehow. I think this is the present the man was talking about. Sure, okay. His present. Miss Von Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at the moment. Despite losing to me twice. If she would disappear, it would be to your advantage. This is totally insane. Oh, I bet Edgeworth comes in to prosecute instead. Miss Von Karma, is she alright? I don't have that answer. I just found out about this myself. She's alive and in stable condition. That's good. Phew. Wait, you're... I thought he'd show up. Your Honor, due to the circumstances, Ms. Von Karma cannot appear in court today. Well, that's putting it lightly. I, Miles Edgeworth, will be taking her place. Called it. The prosecution is ready. Naturally. But why? Why is he taking this case? Ms. Von Karma was shot in her right shoulder and is currently undergoing surgery. Luckily, I have looked this case over and am familiar with the details. The prosecution seeks to prove the guilt of Mr. Matt on guard. The court acknowledges the prosecution. Right? I finally found the answer I was struggling for on my long journey this past year. By the time this case comes to an end, you too will know the answer. Now then, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the witness stand. Witness, Your name and occupation?
My name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm a detective down at the precinct. For now.
Yeah, he's probably in a bit of hot water at the moment.
For now. After this trial's over, I'm supposed to return in my badge, sir.
Detective Gumshoe. The prosecution has no need for a depressed witness. Wow. Wow. Someone's not an empath. Lift your head up and face forward like a proud officer, Detective Dick Gumshoe.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Now, let's have your testimony. If we want to explore the various facets of this case, we must start with that.
Get ready, Phoenix. This is going to be one very rough fight.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have to be with Edgeworth as my opponent. The answer you were struggling for. Interesting. Show me this answer you finally found, Edgeworth. The facts of the case.
This murder happened after the Heroes War ceremony, sir. The victim, Juan Corrida, was found dead in his hotel room.
This is true.
After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. At first, we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. However, we later found that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. After the award ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room.
Yes, sir.
Both the victim and the defendant went alone to their rooms, sir. I see. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
What happened after the Heroes ceremony, sir? Why don't we press him on that? It's a classic move. Would you please give us a brief timeline of what happened after the ceremony?
Okay, pal. The ceremony started at 6 p.m. It ended around 8 p.m., and then there was a short break. A special post-ceremony show was supposed to start in the lobby 30 minutes later.
And that's when the victim's body was found, correct? Which is to say, the murder occurred during that 30-minute break period.
Please continue with your testimony, detective.
The victim, Juan Corrida, was found dead in his hotel room. Okay, we'll press him on that. Yo, welcome to the stream. How you doing? The person who discovered the victim's body was Adrian Andrews, correct?
Yeah. Who is this? Who's this Adrian Andrews you're talking about?
She's the defendant, Madame Guard's manager. She's a really pretty lady, sir.
So she's a pretty lady. Wonder if she will grace us with her presence.
Ah, no, probably. When the post-ceremony show was about to start, she went to get Mr. On guard.
After visiting his room, she went to the victim's room to go get him for the show, sir. I see. And that's when she found the victim's body.
After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. Cause of death. Wasn't that because Mr. Corrida was stabbed in the chest? Whoops.
Only a careless amateur would believe something as brainless as that, pal.
Well, clearly he was stabbed in the chest, to be fair.
take a good hard look at the crime photo. Now, a real pro's attention will be drawn here, to this bandana. Banana? His bandana, sir. That's the thing wrapped tightly around his neck, sir. Ah, yes, I see. His banana-scented bandana.
Sure, why not?
Then, what about the knife? Seems to have been stuck between the victim's chest on purpose after his death.
So... So if the cause of death was strangulation, not stabbing, that's interesting. Don't think we knew that.
We have a crafty murderer on our hands here.
Autopsy report added to the court record. Okay, time left 8:15, struck with a scarf and stabbed with a knife. What could possibly gain out of doing that? Most likely it's a frame job. I mean, it is a frame job.
At first, we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case.
And why did you think that?
Because it was empty, pal.
Okay.
Where was the guitar? The jamming ninja doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar. And we couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime. Oh, then how about this theory? A fan really wanted the guitar and did the crime to get it. How's that?
We thought of that too, but
the only fingerprints on the guitar case were the victims.
Only the victims, huh?
I see. Ah, so much for my theory then.
Guitar case updating the court record.
However, we later found the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder.
Okay. How do we know for sure? What convinced you it had nothing to do with the case?
The guitar wasn't at the Gay Water Hotel that night.
Well, where was it?
The bright red guitar was eventually found at the TV studio. The victim, Juan Corrida, had apparently only taken the case with him, sir.
Why?
So you mean he forgot to put the guitar inside the case? Yes, sir. Even when he was on stage for the ceremony, he didn't have his guitar.
Okay, but he always is apparently he never leaves it. So was that even him on stage then? So that guitar case was empty before he even got to the hotel.
Yeah, that's right. So it really had nothing to do with the case after all.
I believe that is enough. First, the victim was choked to death with his bandana. Then, after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. Which brings me to my next point. Why then did the police arrest Matt Angard? Because there was reason enough to suspect him. Here it comes. Looks like Edgeworth's back in full swing.
Very well, Detective Gumshoe. Please testify about this matter.
Yes, sir. So why arrest Angard?
Man Angard and Huge Carter were huge rivals of each other. They thought the other guy was in his way. That's more than enough in my book. As for evidence, there's the Jammin' Ninja's button. It was ripped off the ninja costume and found in Mr. Angard's hakama. The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. The defendant brought the knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder. So the defendant's fingerprints were found on the knife in the stabbing. It was sort of a sticky on the handle, so the fingerprints came out pretty clearly, sir. Then there's this button. That was found in the defendant's clothes, was it? And is this button also covered in blood? Yes, and we know the blood is the victim's blood, sir. What? Jam news about Night's court record. Well, at this point, it's very clear to the defendant, doesn't it? Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honor. Ready to give in yet, right? I'll find the hole in your argument somehow. You can press as hard as you like. Just hurry up with your usual pointless questions. Right, so we know that he was... But in terms of popularity, Mr. Ungor won, did he not? Yeah, but you know what's ironic, pal? Rain on your wedding day? Oncario was always one step behind on guard and everything. This year it seemed like he'd finally caught up, ready for the big final showdown. But Mr. Corridor lost the Grand Prix in the end. This is too bad. He must have been pretty downhearted after losing. But if I was in his way, it's most enough in my book. Is it though? Wait just 1 second here. Mr. Ongab was beating Mr. Corridor in the popularity polls. Well, yeah, I guess, but... Which means in the defendant's eyes, the victim was not a rival at all. Which means he had no motive to kill at all. Yes, I quite agree. Well, detective? Well, it's not, well... I guess if you put it that way, then yeah, the defendant would have had no motive. Detective, I'm beginning to see why you were fired. No, I'm not you too, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. That's... Oh, I went all northern there for a sec. I look forward to your pension negotiations. No. No! Now, detective, let's continue with the testimony. No. Not my poor pension, too. Detective, if you value your money, I suggest you proceed. Yes, sir. Oh, we can talk about my pension later, sir. What about what I was saying? Hello? Anyone? Trevenant says the jamming ninja's button. Do you have any proof that button belonged to the victim? Well, fortunately the photo is pretty clear proof that it did. What do you mean, pal? Oh, let me put it this way. I'm asking if you had any evidence to back up your claim that this button was ripped off of the jamming ninja's costume. Huh? Good, can't you tell just by looking at it? And the victim's blood was on it. Anyone could have smeared that blood in there afterwards. Mr. Edgeworth. Help me, sir. Alright, I knew I had to take this piece of evidence. Now to reel this one in. Fred. Huh? The button was attached to the costume by Fred, obviously. Well, we better bring Fred in then. And that thread snapped off when the button was torn off. If you match up the ends of the costume, the ends of the thread on the costume with the thread on the button, it is a perfect match. Yeah, that's it. They're a perfect match, pal. That's Edgeworth for you. Never misses a beat. It was ripped off a ninja costume and found in Mr. Angod's Hakama.
Yeah, but so who put it on? When was this button found?
Pretty soon after the body was found, we rounded up everyone who knew Mr. Corridor.
But like, based on the photo that we have of the murder, it's a pretty big button. It doesn't just fall into someone's costume. Like, and there was no way he would have just left it in his pocket or whatever. Like, he wouldn't have knowingly ripped off, just put it in his pocket.
Pretty soon after the body was found, we rounded up everyone who knew Mr. Corridor. And then we did a search on them all. That's when we found the button. So it's almost immediately after the murder.
The police didn't have the free time to lollygag and play tricks, unlike some people.
Hey, what's he trying to say about me here? Ben's fingerprints were also all over the knife.
How were the fingerprints arranged on the knife?
Huh? What do you mean, pal?
By examining the fingerprints, you can determine how the defendant held the knife. For example, did he hold it normally or overhand?
Oh, that's what you meant? Oh, well, we didn't actually think of that.
Did you not?
I can't believe the bumbling of this department.
Oh, bless. Were you paying attention to the testimony, Wright? The defendant's fingerprints were all over the knife. There is no way to determine how the knife was held at the moment of the murder.
So is the defendant the owner of this knife, then? The defendant brought the knife to the crime, which makes it premeditated murder.
There's no way this is premeditated murder, even if he brought the knife.
Sorry, pal. This isn't some pocket knife. It doesn't fold, and it's not great for walking around with either.
Ugh. Well, this is not good. The prosecution can prove it was premeditated murder we're done for.
Phoenix.
Yes? There's something very interesting about what the detective just said just now. Think carefully before it's too late. About uncovering the victim's blood and the knife with Vanguard's fingerprints. Be grateful. If the judge were more rash, he would have already pounded his gavel in closing. We're still in a world of trouble. Well, for any battle, you must find your enemy's weakness. So let's find the weakness in the testimony, no matter how small it may be, okay, Phoenix? Okay. And brought the knife for the crime, which makes it premeditated murder. I'm going to see, is there anything that we can use to poke a hole in this testimony? Strangled with a scarf and stabbed with a knife. Which we know. Jeffrey's costume was covered in Curtis' blood, found in Ingod's Hakima. Let's go check this in case there's something. So he would have had to have gone across the corridor, but it would have been filled with people, so it's weird that no one would have spotted them enter. Samurai. Let me go back one. Ben's fingerprints are also all over the knife. She ripped off the ninja costume and was found in the on-guard's hacker. It's found in the Hakama. I wonder if the murder scene. So it's definitely ripped off, but we can also think about what the knife is used for. So I think, based on that, I think the knife was probably used to rip off the ninja costume, the button on the ninja costume, and maybe got stuck or something. I don't know. Do we use the knife here then? No, it's not gonna work. I'm gonna see what Maya says again. Just a victim button covered in the victim's blood and a knife with on-guard's fingerprints. Let's go press that again, just in case. Using after the body was found, we rounded everyone you knew, then just did search on them, lots from the button. I'm going to present the knife here. No. Yes. Knife the crime. Which makes this. Replicate Walsh's in. No, it wasn't premeditated, because the he didn't bring the knife, or he didn't buy the knife for the crime, because it was already there. It was from the hotel.
Objection!
Wait a second. What? So the basis of your argument is that this murder was a premeditated murder. It's simply that my client bought a knife beforehand. That's right, pal. The defendant did not buy this knife. Huh? Huh? Take a look at the handle of this knife and you'll see what I'm talking about. Huh? It has Gatewater seal set into the handle. Gatewater? I think I've heard that name somewhere before. Well, you're a detective, you'll figure it out. That's the name of the hotel, the Gatewater Hotel. Uh-oh. The murder knife was actually property of the hotel, which means this murder was not premeditated. Yes, that's very true. This is a very big... What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless. What? I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined. How so? I admit this knife is hotel property. There is no one currently on the police force that is dumb enough not to realize this. I didn't... Oh. The question is, where did this knife come from? What? Why, that's obvious. It came from the victim, Mr. Corrider's room. Sorry, Your Honor, but that is incorrect. Oh jeez, I forgot there were so many bears in that room. The victim ate a meal last night before he was murdered. With that being the case, I would like to draw the court's attention to what is on top of the table. Yeah, there's definitely a knife and fork there. There is a knife and fork on the table. Sorry, wrong voice, but whatever. Then, where in the world did this knife come from? If it pleases the court, I would like us to recall the room of the defendant, Mr. Matt on guard. Well, there's certainly a knife missing there. Especially Robert's on his table. There is something missing, perhaps. It is a single knife? The investigators left over dishes for fingerprints, and whilst we were investigating, we came to the conclusion that Mr. Matt Ungard's knife was missing. Ugh. Mr. Ungard had gone to the victim's room with the knife he had used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife on a visit? To kill, of course. And with that, I believe the prosecution has proven this was a premeditated murder.
Amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Absolutely brilliant. A brilliant, clear deduction.
Seems like Edgeworth had this plan from the very beginning. This must be one of those traps and I just walked headlong into it.
A murder weapon with fingerprints and a button from the victim's costume. There is quite a sizable amount of evidence here.
I can safely say that future deliberation is a waste of your honest time. Although, I wouldn't mind if the defense were to present evidence not yet shown to the court.
Evidence not yet shown?
He means evidence that the court hasn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence.
What does the defense have to say about this, Mr. Wright?
Well,
Phoenix. The judge is favouring the prosecution right now. If we answer something wrong here, that gavel of his will be ringing out the sound of my defeat. Mr. Wright, do you have something important and necessary to present to this court?
I guess I do, because we don't have any choice otherwise.
I don't know what it is, though.
There's one piece of evidence that catches my attention. Something this court has yet to see.
Mr. Wright, I will say this one more time. I do not feel this trial needs to continue at all. However, I am giving you one chance, and only one.
What the judge is saying, right, is don't try pulling one of your usual bluffs here.
I mess this up. It's curtains for all of us. You may present one, and only one piece of evidence. Now then, what is the one piece of evidence you want to show the court?
Tomato juice, no sign it's been drank. Empty, there is some water, but only on the top of the lid bears critters' fingerprints. Water, guitar case. I click at that photo again. Well, there's guitar case is really clearly empty there. Smashed vase. You've got the wine glass here, but that's on here and it hasn't been, because that's been brought up. The button and the knife have been brought up. It's gonna. Screw it, if it's wrong, we'll just redo this we'll skip through this and get back to this point and try again.
Eep. This is a wine glass, is it not?
Let's look at the photo of the crime scene one more time. The scene is a mess because of the victim's struggle against his assailant. The vase was broken, his makeup is all over the floor. These were all things that were put at one point sitting on the top of the dresser. Yeah, interesting that the wine glass is still there. Which maybe it was intentionally placed there, I guess?
Well, yes, I see your point.
However, this glass that is still on top of the dresser is mysteriously untouched. The only thing that had not fallen over with everything else is this wine glass. This piece of evidence is more strange enough to warrant further consideration. Well, what do you all have to say?
Well, yes. It is a little peculiar.
Yes, isn't it? I thought it was.
You can stop looking at me like that with those puppy dog eyes of yours now.
Making a note, where's the wine glass staged?
Mr. Edgeworth.
What is it, Your Honor?
Your opinion.
You don't need my opinion. Because there is no special meaning to that glass.
What?
It is safe to say that the glass was set there after the crime took place. But why would someone leave it there? Why would someone do that? Like, why would you leave a glass full of stuff, before leaving a murder scene? By the person who discovered the body, Adrian Andrews, for example. She could have easily been so shocked that she set the glass down without thinking. I think if she was shocked, she would have dropped it.
That does sound very plausible, Mr. Wright.
Could Miss Andrews really have set that glass down without thinking? I don't think so. If I appear weak here, the trial is over. I can look for my proof later. For now, I should just trust my instinct and point with certainty. That's what he does. That's what he does best. They might just fall for it if you're thought-provoking enough. The defense would like to challenge the prosecution's theory. We would like to see something that proves it was Miss Andrews who set the cup on the table.
You've turned the situation on its head yet again, as usual. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any proof to back up your claim?
There's no way he has any. He's just bluffing. Unlike Mr. Wright, I never say anything unless I have the evidence to support it.
What? He was prepared for this?
You're not thinking hard enough today, right? Did you think this wine glass escaped my notice? I mean, kinda, yes.
Then...
Of course it has been thoroughly inspected. For fingerprints.
Fingerprints?
There are only one set of fingerprints left on this wine glass.
Only one? Well, whose were they?
They were not the victims, nor the defendants. Rather, they were of one Adrian Andrews.
What?
My gosh, it was in a court record. That is why I said that the person who had covered the body had left it there. But she'd been in his corridor. She'd been in his room before the murder. I think we've had some evidence of that. Because they'd been seen together. So she could have put that down there beforehand. Are we done there, Mr. Wright?
I can't believe I fell into another trap.
Miss Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Mr. Corridor. But upon seeing his dead body, she was stunned and set the glass down on the dresser.
What you just said makes a lot of sense.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. Now do you see right? You cannot change any part of my scenario as explains everything all too well. I've thought long and hard about this past year about what it means to be a prosecutor. From here on out, I will show you the answer I have come to discover.
Wait a second, Mr. Edgeworth. I think the prosecution has provided enough evidence for me to enter my verdict.
Unfortunately, I cannot allow you past judgment yet. The prosecution has yet another witness we would like the court to hear from.
Another witness?
Yes. Bailiff, please bring in the next witness.
What in the world is Mr. Edgeworth thinking?
Showboating is what led it. Oh no.
Oh no, he's brought in Mysterio. One of Spider-Man's greatest nemesis.
Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. Witness, your name and occupation.
Ugh.
Gotcha.
I wonder what happened to that calm composure he had earlier.
Oh, Edgy boy. Oh, it's been what, a year since we last met, hasn't it? You should be more happy to see me. I saw the report with a testimony, but who knew that under that helmet? It was the Wicked Witch as a witness stand. I tell you, this time I know what I'm supposed to do. So today, I'm going to tell you anything and everything. Even things that don't have to do with that terrible crime.
No, can we just fix the crime, please? Miss Witness, that terrible crime is all this court needs to know. Oof.
Shush, I'm talking to my dear Edgy Wedgie right now.
Don't interrupt us, Gramps. Yes, ma'am.
No, please, by all means, interrupt her, please. Anyway, witness, your testimony, please. Oh, it's true what they say, that youth are all hot-headed nowadays. Not that I mind it at all, Edgy. Now then, what should I start with? The witness was on security detail at the hotel at the night of the murder. Is this correct, Miss Olberg? It was a great job, being able to see my dearest Juan. It was almost too much for my little heart to handle.
You mean you were a fan of the victim?
Look, everyone's crazy over that on-guard, saying he's cute in a fresh way or something. But not me. I wouldn't say anything so silly. After all, I have no interest in a little child like him. I think Corridor and On-Guard were the same age. I'm only interested in a real man, Juan Corridor.
Those two were the same age.
Thank you, Phoenix. Anyway, as I was saying, I was pacing in front of his room that night. Very well. Please tell the court what you witnessed the night of the murder. Leave it to me, Edgy Poo. Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room.
As you do, normal behaviour.
There was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out on them. Keep an eye out the whole time. That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of Juan's new room.
Wow, I completely screwed that up.
There's a man coming out of poor Juan's room. It was On-Guard, Matt On-Guard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room.
So Mr. On-Guard came out from the victim's room.
See, it has to be him. He's the murderer.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
So... Ms. Oldbag, what was your post on that night? The lobby. I was supposed to help set up the stage for that trifling show. But I refused to help, I'll have you know. It was for that lead-headed samurai show. Ha! I even took out a few of the nails. What? Maybe it was a good thing the show didn't go on. Besides, that manager with the glasses seemed to be working hard at it without me. So I thought I'd take a break and spread my wings a little. And that's when you went to hang around the victim's door? Okay. So what you're interested in, and what was that? It's not the some little thing I can just go around telling everyone, you know. It's top secret, between me and Juan. And Edgy Poo, of course.
Mr. Edgeworth, what is this thing she's interested in?
I have no idea. I despise gossip, Your Honor. Gossip? But should it prove relevant, we can always have it append to our testimony later.
Looks like we shouldn't force it right now. And did the witness stay in the vicinity of the victim's door the entire time? Well, that's our job. I made a good try to keep an eye out the whole time. Oh? Then would you tell us the number of people who went in and out of Mr. Courage's room? I have no idea. That's reliable. I wasn't born, so I could count things for those who didn't pay attention in class. That's right, ever since I turned 20, I quit keeping track of how old I really am. Yes, well, that would explain why your age was not included in the report. In any case, the witness then saw someone, correct? That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of Paul Juan's room. Who in the world was that? I'm not allowed to say. This sort of information has to be carefully guarded from the masses, Sonny. The man that came out of Juan's room, he was. Yes, he was. I'm too scared. I can't say his name out loud. Oh, well, I wouldn't give to have Francisca's whip her out now. Well, I guess I can tell you, since he was such a bad boy anyway. It was on guard. Matt on guard. He was trying to seek his way out of Juan's room. You saw my client? Are you sure about that? Yesy. Really? Annoying brat. When I say I saw someone, I saw that person. Why do I get a sense of deja vu? Maybe to avoid a repeat of last year, I should delve into this a bit further. Please tell the court about the man's face in more detail. You don't mean to tell me about. I mean to tell you about his face. That sort of gentle look in his eyes and his effeminate lips. His right eye covered by his silky hair, his sparkling shining teeth. His teeth were shining? Well, he's shining all around in this week's pin-up poster, dearie. This week's pin-up? Why do you... I mean, I don't care how he looks in this week's issue. Please stay with what you saw on that night. What? On God's face is the same no matter where it is. Do you know, you whippersnapper? So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or relevant anyway? I'm going to say it was very important. Of course it was important, Your Honor. Then perhaps you would like to point out what part of that testimony was important. You have to put it that way to get me to say, Mr. Wright, there is something much more valuable than a person's pride. That is time. Please do not waste this court's precious time with worthless questions. Yes, Your Honor. I haven't just wasted a good favour. She may not remember things will be mistaken here and there, but I don't think she's lying. That's bad for us. Really bad. But that's how the human mind is. It also has a tendency to jump off topic. She's strayed into a few interesting side topics this time too, hasn't she? But that's what makes her a sweet old lady, right? It's because you're not the one who has to question her. So, there's something I was interested in finding out, you know. Can I press this again, see if it's going to be different? You know what was just that? So I can go around telling everyone. So I'm going to present the article that one was possibly in a relationship with Adrian, because I feel like that's what they're piss. It's not a contradiction, I just wanted to find it out. So I'm going to press on this again. What the person was carrying. What was the man you saw carrying? In which hand? His right or his left? Now this is a real mess. I mean, I can't be expected to answer such a vague question. Indeed. Please be more specific with your question, Mr. Wright.
So sorry. What was the man you saw carrying in his right hand? Ah, he wasn't carrying anything in that hand. Then how about his left? Empty. Well, this whole thing has been a whole lot of nothing.
So, Mr. Wright,
if I say it wasn't important, is that going to give us a game over? I'm going to say it's very important for now. I'm going to ask that third question. Please tell the court about the man's clothes in more detail.
what a troublesome man you are. Really, as if something like that matters.
But it does. Now what was it? Oh yes, it was that thing. What thing? That gaudy thing he's always wearing. The racing jacket. Except he apparently put the he would be, because he'd be in costume. Because he'd be between bits. Ah, he was wearing that at the detention centre too. That thing's meant for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons. Men. Right. So it's alright, was the sesame what if I say it's not important? I guess it was really important after all.
Do you know how we say, do you know why we say time's value? If not, it's just you learn.
We wasted 3 minutes of this woman's youth. That's more valuable than gold to me. Why I suddenly feel old in this presence, this childish whining. Sure, if things would be mistaken here and that she's lying. We press on this again. That wasn't the right one. No idea, it wasn't born so I couldn't count them. Who in the world was that? Trying to sneak his way out of... maybe press this. A bit less to turn this further. Very important. And perhaps you'd like to point out what part of that testimony was important. Don't you see, Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request the witness said what the witness said about the jacket be appended to a testimony. That's what I need to do. I don't see quite you're going with this, but alright, witness, please. Ah, well, I don't like to badmouth anyone without reason, but if I must. It's running as a flashy racing track, honestly, it's all just for show. I'm gonna press on that. Press on that. Are you sure the defendant was wearing a racing jacket? What do you think? It's not a horrible thing. I'm sure he was wearing it. She's so sure of herself that she's at a point of self-absorption. So if we present the button, because it's found in his costume, which he would have been wearing at the time, in theory. Miss Oldbag. What? Don't say my name for no reason. Do you know what this is? Ah, it's button number 2 from the Jammin' Ninja's costume. Now I know she's an obsessed fan. She identified it in a single glance. Give it here. Give it here. You don't, give it to me. I'll punish you with this. Fake gun. Brilliant. Wow. She really is a die-hard fan to want a button covered in blood. This button was discovered on Mr. Onguard's body during a full body search. See? See? This button proves beyond a shadow of doubt that it was that rascal Onguard. It was caught up in the pleats of his nickel samurai hakama pants. See? See? And Onguard is a nickel samurai. Witness. Now, it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination. But just now, didn't you say that the defendant, Matt Onguard, was wearing his usual racing jacket? I'm so sorry. Sorry, you judge people based on what they wear. Follow the trendiest dress. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, here we go. And she's still going. Now hold your tongue still there for 1 second. So what you saw in actuality was not Mr. Onguard the man, but Mr. Onguard the nickel samurai. But when you think about it, they're really one and the same anyway. No, because it could have been someone in his costume. Mr. Oldbag, this is a very important point we're talking about. Itchy Poo, do you think so too? Well, it might be of something worth considering. I'll just say it's important and agree with me for a change. Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify. Alright, if you insist. I should be the one sighing, not you. Onguard. Onguard, yes, now I remember. Nickel Samurai, that's right, it was the Nickel Samurai that I saw, which doesn't prove that it was... Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know? So he must have worn that Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside that costume. What? Did you think there could have been someone else inside that costume? Don't be a bad little boy thinking such rude things. But the possibility does exist. Ah, young'uns today. Told you there's no way it was anyone else. How do you know that? Because I said so. What I say is the truth.
At least she's just as delightful a witness as she was a year ago. Mr. Wright, you may not cross-examine the witness.
So I want to, just before we go on to this, I want to check. We have a picture of the costume. So he's wearing gloves, which would have hidden fingerprints from the knife when they were stabbed. So those fingerprints would have been Matt's, but necessarily wasn't him holding the knife when the murder took place.
Yes, now I remember. Would you please get on with your testimony? Watch your language, young man. What sort of tone does that take with an elder? My youthfulness isn't what it used to be, so you should be forgive me for anything. If you keep on barking at me like that, I'll start singing at the top of my lungs. What? A striking figure by the sea, standing all alone is he. He's the Nickel Samurai.
Oh, she's actually singing. Someone help my poor ears.
Mr. Edgeworth, should you please do something about this racket?
Witness, I'll give you a piece of gum later if you just be good and stick to the facts.
Okay. You promise, right?
Right? I'll be sending the bill for this chewing gum to your office at a later date. Remind me to send you a thank you note later to Edgeworth, old chum.
Samurai, that's what it was. It was Nickel Samurai that I saw.
Be a little more careful with your testimony, please. Not long ago, you said he was wearing his racing jacket, and now he's not.
Not long ago? Then let me ask you this. When you were itty-bitty, what was your grand dream?
Huh?
What do you want to be when you grow up, Snapper?
My dream, huh? Well, I wanted to be the Judge Wagner, here at the People's Court. Public's Court. So what?
See? And look where you are now. You're not Judge Wagner, are you? Are you?
Well...
Well, I said earlier. Who puts any weight on things like that?
We do. In a court of law. That's the point.
The now is everything. I can't be held responsible for the past.
Again. Yes, you can, if someone has committed murder. The point we're trying to figure out. This is Minority Report. Can't solve future crime. Since when did court become theatrics over testimonies?
All that matters is that man was inside the costume. Isn't that enough? Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder.
Would it though? That costume does not look convenient. Why would that be?
That way, no one can see his face, of course.
But there's still no advantage for him that I can see. In fact, you would think that costume would make him stand out all the more.
You're such an annoying child, you know that? You just agree with everything I say.
Isn't that what you're always doing to me?
I got it. Maybe it was more troublesome for him to change it out of his costume. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know?
Was there anyone else scheduled to appear at that post-ceremony show?
Well, all the contestants were supposed to go on stage in a friendly gesture thing.
And that included the Jammin' Ninja?
Of course it included him. That's why when the guard came out of Dear Juan's room, I didn't give it a second thought.
I see.
Well, anyway.
So let me ask you one last time. The person you saw, it really was Nickel Samurai?
As showy as ever. Haven't I been saying that from the beginning?
Can I throw in the towel yet? Don't need to think too hard on this one. It's a contradiction in her testimony and it's sitting in plain sight. The question is, what that contradiction means for us. Well, let's figure out what we're talking about, okay, first, but okay. Nickel Samurai, that's right, it was Nickel Samurai that I saw. Inconvenient to him to wear his costume during the murder. What if we go to that post series? I'm thinking if we... I think if we use this knife, because then that proves that... No, it doesn't prove anything. Got the post-ceremony stage show right after the crime. So... But... You can't confirm it's... You can't confirm that it is him if you're saying it's Nickel Samurai, because anyone could be in that costume. But what's the right bit of evidence or the right profile? Well, that's not what I thought. I didn't mean to present that. That was an accident. I'm going to press on that again. Be careful with testimony. So it was racing jackets. Too long ago. That's definitely the thing to press to present on. Bear in mind, if I press this is wrong, we're gonna have to start this whole trial again, which is fine. I think we accidentally tried that one. We might have to have a look up to see if that's the right answer. Okay, so it's definitely the knife. Yeah, so we use a knife here. Actually. Because that's the contradiction, because we can't prove that, because if he's wearing the costume whilst stabbing, wouldn't have left fingerprints. Please take a look at this. Yeah, so it's a knife. Big deal. You're trying to scare me with that. I'll have you know it won't work. No, that's not my intention at all. That's the knife that was used in the murder, correct? Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to this case?
You don't even have to ask. It's because the defense fingerprints are on it.
Is this what you're driving at?
That is exactly what I'm driving at. What are we driving at? And whose car are we driving?
Mr. Ongar was really in the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder. Then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Actually, he would have wiped all previous fingerprints on this knife right off.
Oh, that's right. Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he?
He probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing. Why? And why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? There is no way he would do something like that. However, there is one possibility.
Then let's hear a possibility.
It is very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume as the Nickel Samurai. At that time, the defendant had no intent to murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show. Which is why he took his gloves off.
But the murder still did take place.
It is well known that there's blood between the defendant and the victim.
Yes, I have heard that before. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about Mr. Edgeworth's theory?
So let me get straight. Edgeworth's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Now, up to this point, are there any problems with this theory? I need to think about it. Think more on this. Let me get straight. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. I don't think there are any problems with that. I can't see any real problems with this theory. But if you let Edgeworth's theory stand, then we're one very large step close to a guilty verdict. Look at the court record and take another shot at it. Yeah.
Let's have a look at the court record then.
I mean, he could have been confronting him about the article. Because of one's relationship with Adrian. But also, no, it wouldn't have been about the their actual rivalry because he'd already won. Ongar's already won the competition. It's very contrary to something in the testimony. What are you babbling about? Now, for an argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. Ongar was the killer. That's the case. I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent. The article is the intent. Crap. Naturally, you point to one piece with the least value. But with such figure, enjoy your youth while you can. Humans don't live forever. Never do lawyers. Okay, right. We're going to have to take a couple minutes break whilst I get back to this point. That's fine. Okay, we'll be right back with just some, once we get back up to this point, so bear with me a second. We'll be right back. See you guys in a minute. Nearly there, guys. Just got to nearly there. Just I think we're about to get back to the next testimony. And we're back, and I am having a real issue with my monitor at the moment. Glitching around all over the place. It's kind of annoying. Right, so Superior contradicts something in the earlier testimony. What are you babbling about? Now, for argument's sake, suppose Hogab was the killer, if that's the case. It's possible the killer to have gone to his victim without intent. Okay, so I think so in this hypothetical scenario where we're kind of on the prosecution end, He was... Because if he didn't... I'm trying to get my words out. So... If he didn't have intent to murder, he wouldn't have brought the knife. Because the knife was clearly taken from his room to the murder. So it's got to be that. This knife. This was used by Mr. Ongard at dinner. Yes, we did establish that. Which means that if my client was in fact the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Corridor. However, you just say it yourself. At that time, the defendant had no intent to murder. If that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he? Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory is flawed from supposition 1. And one more thing. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there should be glove marks left on the knife. Which means the defendant's fingerprints shouldn't have been all over like bees on a hive. And that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us. Order, I say. Order in the court. Was this knife really planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing? To frame Matt. To frame my client, Mr. Ongard, of course. To frame... Aren't you foreseeing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one? I'm not forcing it enough. But if we just established that the witness saw the Nickel Samurai in costume, and if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife. Yeah. Witness? Looks like I made your life a tiny bit more difficult, huh, Itchy Poo? Witness, did you or did you not really see the Nickel Samurai? Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but... Are you saying you mixed up Mr. Ongard with Nickel Samurai, his character on TV? But, I mean, I can't really do anything about that now. Look, I was waiting around in front of their doors because, well, I wasn't waiting around for Nickel Samurai, that's for sure. She wasn't waiting around for the Nickel Samurai. Alright then, who were you waiting around for then? That's top secret to anyone outside security. I have a feeling that you were waiting for Mr. Juan Corridor, am I correct, witness? The way you think, you're a tad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness. Amateur? Me? What am I amateur of? So our bag was waiting around in front of the victim's room. It doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Corridor. Maybe, Phoenix. Maybe our bag was waiting around for that person. So I think these mayors hinting at. Certainly possible. This old bag. You were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you? It's going to be Adrian. Right? It has to be Adrian. Because of all the tabloid stuff. Who is this person? This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. Ongard's manager. But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room? Oh boy. Wow, this is a whole thing. It seems that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor. Oh, this is... I see. The judge seems to be really into the article, if it can be called such a thing. Then this manager with the initials AA, are you saying it's... Adrian Andrews. Without a doubt, the witness thought so as well. Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I can throw away this wanted confidentiality stuff then. What, witness? What in the world are you? Watch out, Phoenix. I got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling. I got some information. Some secret information from a certain source. So that's why I was doing my own little investigation. In secret, of course. But what for? Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how do you proceed from here? I don't really want to do this. However, I cannot simply let this point slide. I see.
Very well. Very well then. Witness, please testify about this secret information.
Get ready. This is going to take the wind out of you, young'uns. I'm sure we're capable of handling this. Really. It's not like we're 10 years old. That regards one evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. I don't think he did that. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get in close with Juan. Can't condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. Oh, and this is top secret, you got that? Nobody else but you and me know yet, okay?
Defendant sent his manager. What a distasteful topic for this court.
What? Nobody's above gossip. And isn't there a saying, the truth is never pleasant? Never heard that one before.
Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person?
We have looked into this matter and found that the truth the article proposes is in fact baseless gossip.
But should this be true, then this proves that the defendant did bear ill will towards the victim.
So this means I have to smash his room once and for all.
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Be careful. The old bag seems rather excited right now. That's right. On guys, nothing but your foul-blooded youth. Well, as the old saying goes, you gotta burn old bags of fire. Is that an old saying? Time to fight the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone.
Oh, you maverick, Phoenix.
Where's your proof? You can't say something like that without proof. That's just slander. But it's true. That woman was getting intimate with poor Juan. Look, it says it right here, doesn't it? Manager of the Stars, Miss AA. But the name of the gossip, the name of the magazine this came from is Gossipland. What? Are you saying that gossip is all just a pack of lies? It's rumours and speculation. What do you know? I suppose that you'll swear to me that the news is 100% truth. Okay, fair enough. Honestly, Sonny, you can't discriminate between the news and gossip.
Yes, discrimination is bad, Mr. Wright.
Discriminate? When did I do anything like that? Anyway, God says he will never get me to say touche. A scandal? What do you mean by that? Ah, you're a dim-witted one, aren't you? I can't believe you don't know what a scandal is. Honestly, what are they teaching kids in middle school these days? No, I wasn't asking what the word scandal means, even I know it that much. Well, that and God thought you could own a monopoly on popularity. So to do that, he sent his manager to with Juan. You don't have any proof that Mr. Ongard did such a thing. You must be suffering from shock, the shock of hearing the truth. And now that you're in too much shock, you can't do anything right. You're right, I can't do anything right, but boys, I wish I could do something about you. Alright then, show me what you got. Can you show me that proof that Ongard didn't bear any ill will towards Juan? I don't think I have anything at the moment. Don't have anything to offer. See, just as I thought. And you were lecturing about saying things without proof. You've just given me a free pass to say whatever I want whenever I want, silly boy. I made my big mouth. Still waiting to cookie crumbles. For you anyway. Can't condone dirty tricks, so I took action. So, what do you mean by I took action? Like I already told you, I was lying in wait close to the crime scene. Once that slimy woman came out of Juan's room, I was going to capture her and teach her a lesson, something you young'uns need.
You were going to teach her a good lesson?
I was going to make her eat the damaging beams of my ray gun. She knows that gun's fake, right? Like this.
No, stop.
Well, it's too bad the woman didn't come through to the door that night. Wait. What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over. Secret information no one else knows yet. If that's true, then how do you know the secret information? Huh? Well, that's because I'm a pro. Yes, that's it. It's a secret. Even if you drill a hole into my brain, you'll never find out. How in the world did that old bag get such a secret piece of information? I'm going to press further. I wonder if she stole Lotta's camera. You don't be a big girl and tell me where you got the secret information. You won't get to go home today. Edgy Pro, what are you doing? Help me. What do I have to do with this? What do I have to do with this? Just do this for me and you'll get your reward. I don't want your reward, but you leave me totally rich for choice. The witness could have gotten that information from anywhere. It's even possible that it was spontaneously made up inside the witness's head. And that's just me on reckless blabbering. As long as I don't know where this information came from, it's quite a waste of time to focus on this line of questioning. Where did our bag get inside information? This is something I can use to figure out. Sounds like another tidbit of gossip, doesn't it? But you can't just ignore it either. It makes your client look bad either way. Well, I don't think I've heard anything really out of the ordinary just now. There has to be something we can catch her on. Yeah, when I find it, I'm going to press the heck out of it. If I press... I'm going to present evidence. So no one else is supposed to know the secret information, correct? That's true, then how do you know it? What? Why are you looking like that? Stop that! Witness! I'd say it, but this is how you came to ride that we're going through, isn't it? So... I think... she stole the camera. Because tabloid article about the victim was in the case. But I'm just going to double check to make sure there's nothing else that possibly could be. Right, police report. There's a police report. She wouldn't have access to that. Yeah, it's going to have to be the camera. The investigative report photographer, Lotta Hart. Oh yes, I remember the mischievous girl. She reported that she had lost a certain note which she had written to herself. She reported such a thing? On that piece of paper, she had handwritten some of her outrageous impressions about the relationship between the victim and Miss Andrews. What? Outrageous ideas, you say? No, I said impressions. Then everything written on this piece of paper is completely meaningless? Ah, that's it. That's the note. No, you see, this is something completely different. This is my top secret list of groceries to buy. Then you're the one who took Miss Hart's note. I'm a huge fan of Wands, that's why. That infamous puffy-haired whippersnapper. She's working with that evil On Guard. She said to herself, On Guard, I'm his sidekick. She was so happy, smiling like a silly duck. I was only checking what she had written. Edgy Pooh, you believe me, don't you? I was only trying to help out the angel like the angel that I am. It's only one little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before. You really should come with a supply of cheese to match your vintage wine. Well, it was only a piece of paper. I suppose we can overlook this just once. She looks like she's really sorry. Should I forgive her? Pile on more pressure. If I let up on her now, she'll get away. I have to find some way to inflict a deafening blow to the prosecution. Witness, you said that the only thing you stole was that note. Is this correct? Stole? Why don't you listen more carefully, you annoying brat? I saved this piece of paper from the terrible, lonely trash can, that's all. You're lying. Damn it, and I can prove it. Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again? This old bag. I don't believe that note is the only thing you stole that night. Okay, right. Did she steal the guitar? Could she have stolen the guitar?
fingerprints aren't on it. That's the only thing I can think of that could be. I don't want to lose points. It has... Let's do it. No, I'm wrong. More than to win this credibility, perhaps you should be worrying about your own legal standing or shall I say feelings. Turn the volume down low so I don't have to waste my time with your objections. Never knew the judge needed hearing aids. Now's not time to worry about health conditions. Here, one try. You're lying. Okay, so what else did she steal then? I have no idea. Oh, I guess... I guess you stole the camera as well as the... Where's the article? And I definitely did not look that up. For sure I didn't. So bag. That note was with a camera inside its case, wasn't it? Yeah, I think I was a bit confused because, like, I presented the camera as the first thing instead of the note, which is what the game obviously went with. A camera? Yesterday, Lola Hart was raising a huge stink over her camera. She kept saying something like, my sweet $1,600 camera disappeared on me. Why? Why? Witness! What is it, Gramps? If you have the note, then it's only logical you have the camera too. Looks like you found me out again, Sonny. Is this the camera you're looking for? That's... What? Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know. I still eat meals like you, fall in love, and borrow things from people. I mean, borrow without permission is not borrowing. I think your definition of borrow is a little off. I saw that woman's business card and that's when I noticed it said, Slime Bag Celebrity Photographer Extraordinaire. I don't think it said that. Well, when I saw that, I knew I had to know what sort of pictures he'd taken. I'm a professional security guard. It's my business to know these things. Very left. Check this camera's photos, sorry. Must examine them at once. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have? There is only one photo that seems to be relevant to this case. Please present it to the court. This is the Nickel Samurai. See, I told you. That's the guy I saw. This proves that the witness was not lying earlier about this matter. Let's write that to the record. What does this all mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photo by itself does not prove that the person in it is defendant. However, in his own confession, Mr. Ungod clearly stated that at the time of the murder, he was still in his Nickel Samurai costume. That is the case, then this Nickel Samurai is the defendant. How did it come to this? I think this brings us to the end. We have examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. Final comments, Mr. Wright. The court will consider them before we lay close. Do you agree this photo is decisive evidence against your client?
This photo really is decisive. Then we're done for. But if I raise an objection here and blow it, then I would put Maya's life in jeopardy. Can't make a mistake here. There's one route out of this mess. This photo Lord took, there's something strange with it. There's something strange with this photo. I'm gonna look at the court records because obviously if there's something. So, Ongar confessed he was in the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder. But if the Nickel Samurai was obviously coming out of Kurita's room, does that mean it's a second costume? So if it's a second costume, is there anything different about the costume than the one that we usually see? Is my thinking here. Okay, so I'm trying to think. It's a black and white photo, so color isn't gonna matter here. Is there that red thing on the other thing? Yes. Also, these feet are too long. It's the costume doesn't fit correctly, or yeah, the trousers are too big, so it's someone who's actually shorter than what's his face wearing the costume. Also, little bear. It's a little bear down there. Don't change this photo. I knew this was coming, right?
Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth?
I think we can all agree there is nothing strange with this photo. There is no way for the defense to debunk this photo, even with a bunker buster. What?
Debunk with a bunker buster? Is that what you're planning to do, Mr. Wright?
Sure. Anyway, please look at this photo one more time.
If you really believe you can honestly find something wrong with this photo, then you only need one chance, correct?
Ah, crap. Well,
if I don't wrong with this photo, I can't let this chance go by. Where in the heck did she take this photo from anyway? She's got that focus. Why can't she take a good shot, especially where it counts? Now then, let's hear your objection. What about this photo is strange?
I think it's their feet. Because, like, it's too short. I would like to direct the court's attention to this one area right here.
What are you pointing at? His ankles?
If you can see this person's ankles, that would be one thing. However, you can't.
And what does that mean?
Costume this person in this photo could not have been Mr. Ongard.
What is the meaning of this?
I wonder if you would care to elaborate with actual facts, that is. Let's take a look at the Nickel Samurai's poster. Please pay particular attention to the area around the bottom of the Hakama.
His socks. You can see his socks. Exactly.
However, in this photo, Nickel Samurai is clearly holding his Hakama up to walk. Sorry, Nickel Samurai is clearly holding up his Hakama up just to walk. There is only one explanation for this. The person inside this costume is clearly much shorter than the defendant. Alright, I think I've turned things around for myself this time. That's curious. Huh? What is? Edgeworth is usually calm today. Is unusually calm today. That's true. He's just letting the trial run itself, as if he's only along for the ride. I mean, he kind of is. Like, he has some other connection to this case. Like, he's playing both sides here, kind of. It's really weird. Along for the ride? What do you mean by that? I can only guess that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all. He doesn't feel under attack, then I haven't damaged his case at all.
Mr. Edgeworth, where does this leave us? The person in this photo is not Matt on guard. Everything the prosecutors tried to prove today has been meaningless.
I figured it would come to this.
What?
Right, I have something I want to ask you. I think you may have proven that the person inside this costume is not Matt Engard. In that case, who is this a photo of?
Oh.
Who is the person wearing the nickel samurai costume?
Don't stress over this, Phoenix. It's very simple.
What you should be focused on is Edgeworth's attitude, don't you think?
Yeah, why is he so calm? Mr. Wright, let's hear your thoughts. Who is the person in this photograph? It's not Adrian, is it? She's the only person I think of it could be. Because he's the only person who's around at this time.
But if it's not her, then it would be Old Bag. Those are the only two people who it could possibly be. But I don't think she did it. That's the weird thing. But I can't think of any other possibility at this point.
Adrian Andrews?
If you want to know who that nickel samurai is, it's none other than this woman. And why would you say it must be Miss Andrews? What in the world points you to her? Well, for starters, she's short, and she can freely move in and out of Mr. Engard's room. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. Engard that night.
And how does that all add up?
It means that it makes it very easy for her to get a certain item. A certain knife with Mr. Engard's fingerprints all over it.
The knife that was used as a murder weapon.
And why don't you just say what it is that you want, right?
After this now, this is my last chance to turn things around.
The defense moves to indict Miss Adrian Andrews in the murder of Juan Corrida. Miss Andrews, who tried to frame the defendant for the crime.
Order, order, order! Looks like this trial is in the most unexpected development. Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes, Your Honor?
This court is issuing a subpoena for Miss Adrian Andrews. A verdict cannot be passed without first hearing her testimony.
Alright, this is it. This is kind of bad for us. Huh? What do you mean? If Miss Andrews is summoned to court as a witness, it means that the trial will go on for another day.
One more day? Ack! If I don't get a verdict today, then Maya... Now then, I'll set Miss Andrews' testimony for tomorrow.
What am I supposed to do? The judge is about to adjourn the court. Raise an objection.
Now then.
Please, Your Honor, continue the trial. You must pass the verdict today.
I can't do that. We cannot hear Miss Andrews
About wasting such valuable time.
Edgeworth,
Your Honor, I request you please continue with today's trial.
But, we cannot continue due to this unexpected development.
Tisk tisk. Unexpected development? I think you underestimate me, Your Honor.
What do you mean by that?
Is that Mr. Phoenix Wright would slave his way to subpoenaing Miss Adrian Andrews is all happening according to plan. Even Mr. Wright was a bit slow to catch on.
What?
What?
What is the meaning of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth?
Ms. Adrian Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecution's lobby. She is the next witness.
Everything was planned out in advance by that man. Somehow I knew there was no Edgeworth who would overlook Miss Andrews. Seems like this battle is far from over.
Exactly.
Very well. We will call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we shall take a 10-minute recess. Please prepare your witness in that time, Mr. Edgeworth. The court will take a 10-minute recess.
Okay, to be continued. Okay, so I think it's going to be the next part's probably going to be quite long. So I don't think we're going to have the time today to do the second part of the trial. So we're going to come back to this tomorrow. What we could do in the meantime, trying to think if we could do anything else. 45 minutes or so. We could do the box office game, I guess. We could do some Mario Kart. Let's do some Mario Kart. Maybe playing the soundtrack for it at the start of the stream. It'll be good to see if I can get. Hopefully, if I can get the capture device working, that'd be good. So we're gonna call the Phoenix Wright for today. I will have to go back and redo this just so I've got full health for the next part of the trial. But we'll save, and I'll get that set up, and we can do perhaps some online knockout tour for a couple of minutes. So bear me a second, and we will be right back. Hopefully, if it doesn't work, if the capture card doesn't work, for whatever reason, or I can't get it to work, we will probably. We'll do something else. We might do box office game possibly, but we'll see how it goes. So, see you in a minute. Bye. Right, so we're going to do some knockout tour against randos, and hopefully it will, hopefully we'll win. So for those not familiar with Mario Kart World's knockout tour mode, this is the excellent, probably the best thing about Mario Kart World, to be honest, best new edition, is essentially it's a knockout race royale where we have to essentially be the last one standing at various checkpoints. So if we're at a minimum place when we reach checkpoint, then we may be eliminated. So our goal is to avoid that. I'm playing against, so I'm opting for obviously for the online mode, so playing against a bunch of randos, and which makes it a lot more difficult, because that's just the nature of it. So hopefully we'll be okay, but we'll see how we do. And I'm obviously playing as Burger Toad, because Burger Toad is the best. It's objectively the best costume in the game. It's something that I do wish they had more costumes though, but that's something for another time. It sounds all okay, right? It has been several months since I last played this game, so I am also trying to reacquaint myself with controls. Sweet. I was just trying to relearn like the timings for these jumps, which is cheap. That was very cheap. I'll take a shortcut. There's a lot of chain jumps on the road there. Oh no. See, that was just careless. I don't think they meant to leave that bomb there. That was just a shame. Clearing the roadside with your explosives. I was just thinking, this is less chaotic than I was expecting. And then I get hit by lightning. It still feels less chaotic. Sorry, Yosh. I got the ping. Damn it! Ping stole my lunch. Nom nom nom. We've got plenty of time to catch up. We're doing okay. I should have got that. Should have got the lunch bag. Someone just left the bomb. Just carelessly left that. I mean, it's really bad. Someone could get hurt, keep pressing it like to sort of get the item quicker. The button to get the item quicker, but it doesn't work like that. I know it doesn't like double dash, but... Thought that'd be a shortcut. It wasn't. No! Spike, you Burk. Whatever. Next race. Big drop. Moon Rally. It's going to go from Bowser's Castle through Toad's Factory, through Moomin Meadows, and then through the other places. Whose names I definitely have not forgotten. So we'll go here. This is not just hit baby Daisy. Just thank you. Woo! Now we've got some curry. Or a bone sticking out of it. You know, as you do. As all good curry is. This is insane. I've no... I think we got very lucky there. Shy Guy, just no. Guys, let's just take a chill pill here. Let's calm down. Let's just stop all bunching up like this. Sweet. I'm using the power of my brethren. The power of my brethren did nothing. Probably should have held on to that, but
I'm going for gold.
Whoops. Sorry. Finger slipped.
Okay, so
Whoops.
oh, I can't slipstream behind Shy Guy because he's invisible. Like, semi-invisible. Oh, they've got too many bananas. And Shy Guy's gone total bonanza. Sweet. Now I am the Burger King. Nice. This can't possibly last. This is too easy. Something is going to go horribly wrong in a second. How am I still in first? Shy Guy's coming up the rear. Not the one he ain't. There it is. Thanks, it's what I needed. A single coin. Ah, crap. There it is. There was the rub. Crud, crud. Fox. And we're so close to Venom. Okay, we'll do one more, I think, and then we'll call it. Tis the Spiny Rally. Sure, someone will be leaving a trail of coins.
What the?
I guess it was hammer time.
That was just nonsense. I didn't even know what got hit by that. What hit me there? Gang, I think I've been stitched up. I've still got a good feeling about this. Maybe? Shit. Farts. Alright, let's do one more. It's the Cherry Rally. Going from Peach Beach to the desert, I guess. Via those places. Everywhere in between. No, my brethren have failed me again. I mean, we're doing better than that Waluigi last though, so there's that. Could be worse. Look how far behind he is. He's gonna get one of these, ooh, he didn't even notice the shortcut. Sweet. Ah, this sucks. My brethren! Yes. Oh, I got lucky there. It's like everyone is using mushrooms at the same time, which is not helpful. I think we're in fairly good standing to qualify though. Sweet. Oh. Oh, my roll was short-lived. Ooh. Right, time for a barrel of whatever this stuff is. Fruit? It's a fruit barrel of some kind. Okay, guys, let's just chill. Just let me qualify. Thank you. Okay, now you can be a bit more chaotic again. Yeah, fish and chips. Oh, I love the big robot dog song. That thing rules. Thank you for the slipstream. Not confident about this, but we've still got quite a while to go on this checkpoint, so there's still time for us to sort of get ahead or overtake. Creeper shoe! Okay, yeah, we're probably not going to win this now. Yeah, came ninth. We'll do one last one. I know I've been saying that for the past like 3, but... this will definitely be the last one. Yeah, the depressing thing about them playing Mario Kart 8 music at the moment in the background is that it is just a disappointing reminder that Mario Kart 8 is kind of a better game. Let's freaking go. Not going any faster. Guys. We just need to relax a little bit. That was not nearly as well, piss. Well, at least made it through the first checkpoint. It was not totally embarrassing. Oh, well, that's my red shell. That sucks. This isn't helpful. We're not gaining any ground. Right, that's a little bit better. So long, jerks. Yeah. What I need is more coins. Thanks, Boo. I'm not paying attention to that corner. Yo, welcome to the stream. How you doing? I'm good. How are you? Yoink, I'm having that. So we've got plenty of time on this this check to catch up. Do fate well. Well, that was tempting fate. Nope, that's just mine. This was a bad idea. yeah, stream's going good. We played in Phoenix Wright earlier, so now we're just calling off for some Mario Kart, and we're going to hopefully end at the end of this race, which unfortunately might be sooner rather than later at this rate. So we stream on weekends, usually Saturdays and Sundays. Every so often we'll do a weekday one, but very rarely that happens. But so yeah, mostly Saturdays and Sundays. And on that note, that is going to be it for the stream today. So we're going to be back tomorrow with some more. Oh, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Yes, I did. Yeah, so we'll be back tomorrow with some more Phoenix Wright. Hopefully we will get through to the next stage of the trial. And maybe start the... I expect it's not going to end tomorrow, so... So we'll have to see how it goes. But anyway, so that's going to be it for the stream today. Thank you for joining me, whether it was for the whether it was for 5 minutes or whether it's the whole thing. I really appreciate you hanging out with me. And as always, au revoir, baby. See ya. Bye. Crap, I should probably actually have some music playing over that. Oh, hell yeah, big donut. See ya, guys. Bye.